Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Queen of the Beach. And this is a new documentary from writer-director Cliche, aka Christopher McDonell, who went to India to film a completely different film. And he explains this in the documentary that he was there with a bunch of white people who were on spiritual journeys, and that was the film he was going there to make. And then he wandered upon this beach and met these young girls who are peddling clothes and child laborers who are trying to make ends meet by basically getting pennies for all these different clothes and jewelry and stuff like that. And he becomes really connected with Shilpa Poojar, who is this young girl who really is trying her best and making an impact on this beach. And over the course of 8 years, this documentary takes place. He's coming back. He's trying to help her out, building this relationship with her, trying to help her get to the point where she could go to school and doesn't have to be a child laborer anymore. And you see her grow and as a human being and how her life changes, dealing with her ill father on and off, and dealing with trying to create a home and trying to get that money to go to school. And also it deals with the perception of what her relationship is with Christopher McDonell, which is interesting. And overall, this is one of those kinds of stories that's a pretty incredible story over this time. I didn't the documentarian's really involved in this. He is telling us the story. He's interacting with the people. This is very much one of those kinds of films, and obviously it's very objective and very much his story, his interactions, and trying to help this young woman. And it's sad when it's like you get those moments where things aren't going as well for her anymore, or she has to make these adjustments. And yet it's a pretty incredible story, and it looks at the bigger picture of child laborers in India, and that's a challenging thing to see in this film because obviously that's a big issue across the world compared to in America, where it's like you don't see kids, like maybe they're at their family's restaurant or something and they're like passing out menus or something, but like not actually working, because I've witnessed stuff like that. But this is like, these are young women out on a beach selling, trying to compete with each other, and it's such an interesting, different dynamic because obviously like somebody from New Jersey, you don't really see stuff like that. And this film is, I didn't get the music choices. Like 90% of the music choices in this film felt so weird and set up the wrong kind of tone for this film. And I'm like, there's like fun, jaunting levity about the music at times, and you're just like, we're talking about some really sad things and seeing some really sad things, and you're like playing this obnoxious music, and that took me out of the film quite a few times. And like from a technical aspect, it's very low budget. It's just this guy doing this documentary, but you know, it's a pretty engaging story. It's an interesting story, and her story was really fascinating. Like, I don't know how much I cared about like his journey through all of this, but at least we got to see this young woman as she grows. And Shilpa was like, there's some great payoffs at the end of the film for all of the things that she's been through. And overall, I think this is a documentary that has an inspiring story. It's worth checking out. And it really gets you lost in a different culture and sheds a light on some potential concerns across the world. But those are my thoughts on Queen of the Beach. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.